I thought I'd jump on here today and just share with you a little bit of what I'm moving through at the moment. So, at the moment, I'm just coming through the tail end of a migraine and my bleed time. And since the age of 7 until my early 30s, I was a chronic migraine sufferer, heavily medicated, under the care of a neurologist. And in my early 30s, I was able to shift a lot from my essentially what was one of the main causes of my migraines was unprocessed grief in my lungs, and being able to shift that with the assistance of a kinesiologist just created so much, such a shift that I was able to go off medication. I think anyone who has experienced migraine does understand and realize how debilitating it can be, and affects our ability to show up and meet our responsibilities, but also just affects our vitality, our vibrancy, and just being able to show up for the things that we want and the things that make us come alive, and being able to spend that quality time with the people we care about, the people we love. So for me, it's been quite a journey, and when I do like this at the moment, it only started coming on. I could feel it with its warning signs for a couple of days, but it only hit me last night, and I'm still feeling quite sensitive and in a very delicate place through that. And I'd say part of that is also where I'm at in my menstrual cycle, because for me, I allow that to be a teacher, and that time to really come home to myself a whole lot more deeply, and shine that light and illuminate to me what that past month and few weeks has been like, where I've been honoring myself, where I haven't. So, and as many of you, I'm sure, are going through a lot of shift and change. For me, that's especially true at the moment, not just coming into this festive season, but a lot of what's happening in life, in society at large, in our communities, in family. I'm, at a time frame where it's anniversaries of losses as well, and preparing for a move, like moving home and substantially downsizing, which means having to lessen a lot of what we own and what we have, which processing and parting with things that, there's so many memories and beloved special things, even when happy and willing to make those changes and knowing that it is for this next season, to be embracing, it's a lot. And I at times am very challenged in how to navigate all those things, and still being able to show up for roles that I hold. And so going back to moving through and how I use those things, for me, learning different things in my body and through different seasons and phases of life, health ailments, posterior alignments, bringing all that into play. Because when I was young, I had a lot of scoliosis issues, pretty much like a swivel snake between my shoulder blades, and access joint disorder at the base of my skull with my spine. And forehead lines, to me, there's a lot of things that through my studies and my awarenesses, through resources and other people who really teach and go into the depths of these things, and being able to feel and connect with those energetics and things within myself once making those connections, I find really powerful, and being able to listen to my body. So instead of having things to reach that point where I'm feeling all pulled and tugged out of alignment, because at the moment I do start feeling the tension there, because a lot of these things, they were prevalent in my life through my childhood, through my teenage years, my 20s, some things my early 30s, but as I've moved through my 30s to the end of them now, I've been able to shift so much, and I'm so grateful for the knowledge and awarenesses that I have. And this is a big part of my work, and who clients that work with me one-on-one are familiar with. And I haven't really actually been sharing that here, and this is that time where I actually want to show up and bring that to more people. So this is kind of my starting point with you all, and it is like a big part of fuels my passion and how we as people hold and store stress, trauma and conditioning in our bodies, and how it does show up and impact the ways that we show up, and how it changes our vocabulary, the way we view ourselves, to then come back into our body and actually realize and know what it can be communicating to us. So for me, knowing, forehead lines, they're not there all the time anymore. But when I know they start kind of, when you get those frowns and creases, it's because I'm in my head a lot more. I'm using my mind to figure things out, or thinking about and analyzing. And when I go into that place, I hit a disconnect between my head and my heart. And here is that expression and that freedom and that radiating, the things that just light me up. My head, I don't, like, it knows what to do anyway. Like, it has its natural function, my brain. So, but when I start going up here, I'm not honoring the rest of myself, my body, and especially what resides in here. And when I start speaking from here, it's a lot of, I'd say, old narratives, it's old conditionings, it's what was taught to me, and that gives me headaches. There's been a lot of, I find pressure, and when I'm connected and using here, including all of here, there is a lot more flow, and there isn't the pressure, there isn't the strain. And then, but that's why at the moment, and when I do start getting struck down, because I do feel the differences and it pulls, because it's my inner world and my outer world. It's the way I'm feeling and hearing my responsibilities, or there's that disconnect of expressing from here. And when that clear flow isn't happening, there's a pressure point. It's with some of the work that I have, come across and learned to integrate and stuff as well. One of the authors and writers and teachers is, I love their analogy that the neck is a bridge between the heart and the brain. So what then? How then at the moment am I not bridging and bringing them together? Where is that stuck energetic through here that is affecting everything else up? That this is that flow of energy and how it's changing what's circulating through here and just my whole being. So when I do start having those things, that it's, I'm like, okay, I'm going back to these old tendencies, letting grief not come up for processing, or I'm up here trying to figure things out, instead of just returning here. and bringing it all together and living and expressing from there that there is a trust and a faith here and an honoring here. And then whatever I'm hearing, whatever I'm processing, there's a lot more freedom in it rather than that stuck tension. So I know this has been a long video and I can unpack so much more, but this is just a little snippet of where I go and how I use this work, and how, you know, we're almost 2024 now, and so as we're coming to this end year and through the different shifts and changes, through moving and everything else that's happening in life, I would like to actually make a move for my work and how I show up here on social media with you to be more in line with this work. And if there's anything you are interested in and you would love to hear more of, or for me to be actually showing up and bringing here content wise, I would love to hear it. So feel free to drop me a message in my DMs, slide in there. And yeah, I look forward to 2024 and what it has to offer us all, and just to be finding more freedom and connecting back in here and getting a little bit more out of here, and the little different daily devotional practices that actually help with that. So watch this space if you want a little bit more, and yeah, let me know how you feel about this. Thank you.